It's a special day for us today because we're unveiling the lineup. I think a couple of you may have saw a poster that went out, or hopefully you're not posting it too much right now, because we're here to announce today really the culmination of going back to when Brad and I, literally when Street Scene left San Diego. And it was such a loss, and it worked so well in San Diego, but it didn't work when it left and went somewhere else. The secret sauce was San Diego. You'll hear us talk all the time about San Diego, by San Diego, for San Diego, San Diegans that are behind this. There's a lot of investors that are here today. I want to thank you guys for believing in this. Without you, we don't have a festival. And so there's a lot of love, there's a lot of belief, and there's a lot of love for the city of San Diego that ultimately makes this possible. Music brings everybody together. While we're losing football teams, or we can't get certain things built in this town, we can bring a music festival, and we can bring it downtown. And this journey really started with Paul and I having a discussion after Brad and I were talking, but we needed somebody that could put all of that together. It's a really complicated business, and you can ask Paul later when you want to talk to him what it's like putting 80 bands together, booking 80 bands after you just talked to 400 bands, and then contracting them and putting it all and getting it to where we are today. So Paul, congratulations on a wonderful job. I think Paul is absolutely the best in the business, and I've met a lot of them, and most of you know me after 27 years at the arena, about 3,600 events and 16 million people, and I've seen a lot of good promoters. Well, I've seen some good promoters. I've seen a lot of bad promoters. Tony's seen a lot of bad promoters in all of his years that he's dealt with it. And, for all of you that didn't have to see bad promoters, consider yourself lucky. But we've got a great team. And what it started was about San Diego, for San Diego, by San Diego. And it got up to this point. And we looked at several different locations over the last 8 years, including the fairgrounds before Kaboo was there, including North Island, Coronado, Camp Pendleton. And we didn't quite find the right spot, because the secret sauce, a festival is not a concert. If I tell you that there's 1 or 2 bands that you want to come see and you want to go be part of and you want to go hang out for 2 hours, that's a concert. A festival, you truly want to be somewhere all day, but you don't want to be captive all day. At the end of the day, if you got to go discover music at 12 o'clock and see some of these really cool new bands, and you show up 12 o'clock, you're kind of looking at everybody at about 2:30 going, ayúdame, help me out. How much longer do I have to hang here? Oh, you know, the headliners are coming on at 9:30 at night. You're toast. I don't think it's a condition, but I think concert fatigue will be a condition. It's identified in the near future. But this one's beautiful. This one is literally, you can discover music with your kids. You can go in and out. You can walk to your hotel. You can come back at different times. You can enjoy the gas lamp. And it was about putting something together at the right time for San Diego. This will be the last major festival of the year. It's when San Diego needs an event. They don't need it in August, September. If you've been down here, it's busy. The hotels are full. But it's like a ghost town when you get here the weekend before Thanksgiving. We're going to change that. And that's why we had the support of the tourism district and everybody else, and the funding and the belief of the city to bring something really cool to San Diego that can last for years and have it be a 1 + 1 is 3. So with that, I can tell you, as we announce, and Paul will go into some of that, and you'll see some of the bands here, we're super excited. We're super excited for all of San Diego. We're excited for the Hispanic and Latin community. It's 34% of the population. We've got great partners in Univision and Entravision that are here. This is a big festival for everybody. And I think the Hispanic lineup that Paul put together is extraordinary. It's a stage that will be a stage the whole time. It's not like we're saying, oh, and it's, you know, something for everybody. We're going to have 2 or 3 artists. There's 15 different Latin artists and some really big ones. And people are really excited about the lineup. So with that, it's a festival for everybody. And to have the likes of Tony Hawk, Rob Machado, and Trevor Hoffman, the Belly Up folks who are here, events.com with Tony and his group. Yeah, if you ever leave a voicemail for Tony, you'll never forget that voicemail, I can tell you that. There's a lot of hooting. Put the best team together. It's about teamwork. It's about putting the whole team. I saw Chris Cantori here earlier. We talked early on. I saw Scott Kaplan. Everybody wants to be part of this because it's something good for San Diego. Everybody can not only make money off this, they can be enjoying it, they can be part of something that changes the landscape of music forever. So I want to thank everybody for coming today. We'll obviously be available for questions later. And I want to thank everybody's patience, our families, that have put up with us during this time period. It's been a lot of work, and there's a lot more work to be done, but together we can pull off some cool things. So with that, I want to bring up Tony Hawk to say a couple words about his performances, what's going to be going on. Thank you.
Hey everybody, how are you? I just want to say I'm really honored and excited to be partnered with Wonderfront and this whole festival and bringing something like this to San Diego. It's long overdue. I remember Street Scene, got to see Sex Pistols there. That was exciting. And I'm excited to also bring my own flavor to this whole festival of music and art and culture and food. And then I'm adding punk rock and skateboarding, which I'm very familiar with. And really, for me, this is a chance to sort of do a resurgence of my HAHN concept, where we did an arena tour. We did it at, I have to say sports arenas, sorry guys, I'm super old. That's what it is to me. First concert, the Cars. I saw, we did our tour of skateboarding, BMX, and motocross, and live music, and we brought it to sports arena. And Devo played, and we did this whole show. We did that for about 5 years. All over the country, 30 shows a summer, and haven't done it in about 10 years. So I'm excited to bring that back. So you're going to see on the stage that I'm curating, Pennywise, Vandals, X, and Suicidal Tendencies. And in between those bands, you're going to see us skating with Z-Trip spinning live. And we're going to bring back the choreography and freestyle elements, and it's pretty cool to get to do this in San Diego. I love any event where I get to sleep at home. So thanks, Ernie, for including me, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast, and I think there's going to be many, many more to come, so thanks.
Let's hear it for Tony Hawk. You know, Rob Machado couldn't be here today, although, because Rob's not here today, Rick said he got the pleasure of getting up with Fox tomorrow morning and going on at 7:45, so I think this was the better gig, probably. So Rob and I will be on Fox tomorrow morning. Another Hall of Famer in his own right. You know, you start looking really at the 3 Hall of Famers that we have part of this. These are the San Diegans that we identify most with. It's not that they were just great at what they did and their craft, and I know it sounds cliche at times, but they're better human beings in what they do with their foundations, with their time, and with people around them. I've walked around the arena before with Tony or Rob or Trevor, and it's the same thing. We get about 5 or 6 feet, and somebody wants to take a picture. And instead of some people that I know in the past that might kind of, you know, sneer or look down or whatever, it's always a big smile. It's always a hand around them, appropriately hand. Right. Got to disclose that now. Hands high around them. And at the end of the day, everybody leaves with such a good experience. These are such great ambassadors for this city, and so I'm honored that Tony's part of this. I'm honored that Trevor's part of it, and I'm honored that Rob Machado, these are all Hall of Famers. And with that, I want to bring up the Hall of Famer that was just recently inducted, who's a dear friend of mine, and just a great human being, and pretty good golfer too, Trevor Hoffman.
Thanks, Ernie. Wow, I'd like to piggyback what Tony had to say, in that it's an honor to be here today and piggyback with you, Ernie, and the rest of the investors on such an amazing event for San Diego. I know we're going to reveal a lineup. I'm used to other lineups where who's hitting 3-hole, who's hitting 4-hole, but it's going to be an awesome experience to know that you're not going to be out in the middle of the dust. If you get a little tired, you run back to your hotel and maybe grab a bite to eat and still have the energy to go and take in what's going to be a world-class event here in San Diego. So I look forward to this for many, many years. I look forward to seeing so many familiar faces throughout the year, getting to collaborate in November. It's going to be unlike anything other. So thanks for attending today. I'm looking forward to hearing the lineup.
Thanks, Trevor. Trevor Hoffman. You know, we for this last introduction, then we'll see something pretty cool. You know, there's I don't want to pull out certain individuals in the room, but you know, there are some leaders in industry here when it comes to restaurant groups, whether it comes to chefs, whether it comes to art installations. So this is going to be the whole deal. It's 80+ acts, San Diegans all around it, but there's going to be some really curated, really cool curated art. There's going to be some really good food, and we're going to have local chefs that are involved with this, much like they are on some of the other festivals that are successful with that, but it's got to have a San Diego feel and a San Diego flair. It's really important to us. So when you come in here, there's a lot to do at all times. We already know that you can't beat the location. You cannot beat that location on the water. The fact that you can be at South Embarcadero and jump on one of the flagship boats, and Brad and Heather, I think I saw you earlier, great partnership. So, you know, basically I think we took almost the whole fleet, and we left the SS Paul to somebody else. But I think at the end of the day, it's really cool that you literally can jump on at South Embarcadero and get on a 450 capacity boat and take it all the way around for kind of a booze cruise, and then end up inside of the festival at Broadway Pier, which is going to be the belly up stage and the Casbah stage and kind of the local stage with Tim Mays and all that. So super excited. We'll put a sponsor on it, but right now it's the belly up stage. And it will always be the belly up stage. So super cool activations there and the ability to go in and out. So the moment you've been waiting for, I'm going to have the, we call him the mastermind in the office. That was Brad's, or M&M, we call him as well. He's a savant when it comes to this stuff. He's really good at what he does. He's very intense when it gets to this point, because you have to be when you're booking 80 bands, and you're probably dealing with 400 bands. You're dealing with agents, artists, managers. It's really tough. I think he's the best in the business. He's our partner. I'm really excited he's here. Please welcome Paul Thornton.
All right, I appreciate that, Ernie. Thank you so much. I'm just going to say a couple quick words and we'll get the video going to let you guys see these bands. Unfortunately, I'm just finding out 2 of the bands released early and our website is being flooded, and I'm dealing with that right now. So sorry about that, but that's always good news when you have so many people coming at once. The big part of this, I mean, Ernie has kind of thrown this at me as my lineup, but in truth, this was a huge collaboration. You know, we got the Belly Up guys, Chris and his team, and we had Tim Mays and the Music Box guys all involved. So we wanted a true San Diego feel to this lineup. We have a programming team, about 12 people that are all music majors in colleges in 3 different cities, and or just out of college and just huge in the music business and tastemakers, and they did a ton of research on bands for this. Well, one of our big goals for this was having the right mix for a festival. Part of the research our team did found out that most of the complaints about festivals these days are everyone puts a couple big names on there, and then after the second line there's a huge drop off. And 78% of all people polled for festivals last year said that they go to festivals to discover new artists, to find new music, to find a new love somewhere once a year. So we really knew we wanted to put a mix together that had some hometown favorites and some great bands on it that you guys love, and we'll do that every year. We also wanted to have a mix of some great bands that you love and you've seen before, but they've got new music. We have a lot of bands that are on a new music cycle right now, or they have a lot of them have new music coming out this summer and fall. So that's going to be really exciting, and some of them might just explode even more so and complain about the stage they're on when we get there, but we'll deal with that. And then we've got a ton of new music, new bands you're going to love, new bands that are exploding now, new bands you're going to hear about today that you might not have heard of, but come November you'll see all over the radio. And that was a big mix of what we wanted. We wanted you to discover new bands. So, you know, when you look at what this festival's about, it's really a youthful, energetic, adventurous mix of bands. It's about coming out and finding something new. So it doesn't matter if you're in your teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. If you're adventurous, you're an outdoor lifestyle person, you love new music, which a lot of San Diegans do, you're going to love this festival. And so there's a lot of work that went into that, a lot of programming. Our festival is super deep. I mean, it goes heavy from the first band on all the way through. There's just great names, which is why it took 6 months putting this together, because there's a lot of logistics that goes on. Having bands, you know, that are used to being a second or third line band might be fourth or fifth line on this, because our lineup is just so solid all the way through. So you don't have to worry about those festivals where you go, I'm not even going to show up till 5 or 6 o'clock because everyone's on later. We actually worked with bands, and I want to thank a lot of the bands and those agents to help us do this. There's great names that are on at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so that we could schedule times in a way where it's not like some festivals where every big name is on at the same time and you get stuck seeing 1 or 4 bands that you really wanted to see. So we really try to space things out in that way too. And you know, it's nice when I've had 20 plus years doing a lot of this and done a lot of festivals, and it's nice when you can kind of start over again and say, what have I learned along the way? How can we do this different? How can we do it better? And we've got an adventurous team. We've got a lot of great people who love that. So, you know, we took stock in that. We hope you guys appreciate that as well. We're announcing most of the lineup here. You know, we started thinking we'd get about 70 bands. I think we're at about 85 or so we're announcing today. Got a bunch more that are coming too. And we've got some big names that we're going to announce in August, so we kind of felt like we wanted to hold back on a little bit because, you know, sometimes too many people buy for one band and grab up all the tickets. And we truly wanted this to be a festival where the festival lovers had the first chance to really get their tickets and get in. And we want people who are going to be here 3 days loving every band that they see. So that's kind of my shtick, and let's go ahead and run the video. Here's the kind of announce of who we got playing.
we'll open it up for a couple questions, if there's a couple questions, and then we'll go from there, and you're free to go ahead and enjoy the festivities here for another hour or so. But if there's any questions, happy to answer from anybody. If you have questions, yeah?
How'd you come up with the name?
That's a great question. The Port of San Diego is a big partner of ours. And I don't know if anybody from the port ended up coming, Brad, or, but a huge partnership. And so we were actually sitting in a meeting with the port, and one of the port members that we were working with, it was funny, it was kind of like we were back in grade school. We were talking about some names, and he had his hand up across the table. And I said, yeah, you have an idea? And he goes, I've got the name, I got the name. And he said, Wonderfront. And what you got to understand is the partnership, true to the word in San Diego, is the port has renamed the whole waterfront, and that whole area is the Wonderfront. You've probably seen some ads, and if you haven't seen some ads, you're certainly going to know it now. But it made a lot of sense, because we're partners with the port on this. So the Wonderfront referring to our actual festival, and it's about bringing people that from San Diego or around San Diego back to the Wonderfront or the waterfront, and if you're from out of town, a chance to discover the Wonderfront. So that's kind of the dual meaning and the dual name of it. Somebody's got a question? Bruce?
Who's your favorite band? That's all I got.
I fixed on the spot. I love Ben Harper. And I love Ben Harper, and I love Slightly Stupid too. They're all, what's that? Okay, Paul's got to answer his.
I'll tell you what's fun for me is having our programming team. We used to meet every week starting back in September and October, and they would bring in bands that they found and loved. And there were just some I fell in love with. And one that I just fell in love with, and I find myself listening to in the office all the time, is the Knox. You kind of heard one of their songs in there. These guys are just incredible. Don't miss them live. I mean, those are two, there's so many, but those are two new ones that I found that I didn't know before that I just fell in love with.
All right, we're available for one-on-ones if you need so. Any other questions here? Yeah. Let's get everybody in here for a group shot.
Put the shorts on.
Don't go up on the little vest up your jacket.
Yeah, there you go. Get one this way. You guys got it? Thank you.
All right, thanks everybody. Enjoy the festivities. Thanks for coming.